Hi guys, this is Robin with Weight Loss Apocalypse. This is such an awesome session. This woman came to the HCG clinic in Minneapolis, and this was our consult. She's a PhD, has a PhD in nutrition, so she teaches nutrition at the university level. She also is an avid cyclist. She teaches spinning. And she had no clue that she had what I would have called at the time exercise bulimia. And she had transferred her exercise bulimia because she had got a knee injury. Predictably, with that type of linear movement, you're more likely to get a knee injury. So she ended up getting a knee injury. Her eating disorder issues, like the emotional eating issues, didn't have the exercise to fix it. So she ended up gaining, from what I remember, 30 to 40 pounds. And because she couldn't do the exercise, she gravitated to something that was equally as extreme, the HCG protocol. She did the HCG protocol with another clinic who allowed her to go 12 weeks. So that kind of gives you an indication of how anorexic she was in her depth and her ability to deprive. Once done with the protocol, and in the process of going back into reality, she went back into the emotional eating issues. And then because she had found this new amazing fix, she continued to allow herself to gain weight, knowing that she could have the HCG protocol to sweep the damages and consequences under the rug. So this was her coming to us at the point at which she was ready to do her purge through the HCG protocol, and this is our session. So this 10-minute clip is of us describing kind of that cycle, and how the diet, the exercise, the purge, the whatever you want to use, okay, to purge, how that enables the continual dysfunctional relationship with food. So if you want to watch the entire consult, I think this consult, it's really about 40 to 50 minutes from the original session. This was recorded 3 years ago. So the entire video is linked below. If you want to share this, I would recommend you do it. I know there are people in your life that can also struggle with the same thing, not even aware that it's a form of bulimia. So if you want to share it, like it, that's awesome. More people will find this information. If you want to hear my most recent sessions that I'm posting it in a private Patreon account. There's a link below as well. In order for you to see these sessions, you will need to become a follower. It's $5 a month through PayPal. So you'll need a PayPal and you'll need to follow. And if you would like to work with me, all of my clients are YouTube followers. So you can find the link below as well to my website, where you're going to fill in the information request form, and we'll get you scheduled as soon as possible. So enjoy the session.
Over time progress. I think the HCG protocol made me wake up to the fact that I was ignoring my body's signals in many ways, and my life's needs in many ways. Like, it made me really strip away this piece of relying on other things in my life, because it was like I have control in the HCG period, in that 10, 12-week period.
It's going to fix the damages you just did, you just created. Right. And all this damage you created because you knew you'd do the protocol. That's the enabler. So the protocol is your bitch.
It has been, because in my mind, I thought to myself, if this ever happens to me again, I have something that works.
I know, right? It's kind of like a purge.
Secret that I have that people who don't do HCG don't have. And if I ever get myself out of control again, I know what I'm going to do.
You got it. You can just stay out of control because you know you have something that could sweep it under the rug. It's your little secret.
Yeah, secret backup move.
I guarantee you that you have been miserably gaining weight with that thought. And you've allowed yourself to gain far more than you anticipated with that thought. So you're about to do the protocol, and that is called bulimia. You have bulimic tendencies.
I do.
Yes, I know, right?
I do.
We're not going to enable you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, granted, we have people who come in and they're like, I just want the HCG. Give it up, bitches. And we're like, all right, don't call for help. Because we're not going to tolerate you complaining about your weight. We're not going to suggest you do a stupid apple day. We don't even follow that part of the protocol. Have fun on the internet getting help. You just paid way too much money.
I love that. No stupid apple day for you. That's like hilarious.
I'm glad that you find it humorous.
I'm sorry,
a lot of people find me offensive, but whatever.
No, that's totally not offensive. That's awesome. No stupid apple day for you.
Well, you have to take accountability for this. It's not the protocol's job to sweep your shit up. Yeah. It's like you're making this amazing hormonal therapy into a stupid diet. And it's innate, and because you're positioning the protocol there, you're enabling yourself to have severe psychological issues that don't make logical sense. You're developing a relationship with food under emotional context that wouldn't be there if you didn't have the protocol to get rid of the damages. You wouldn't eat for boredom. You wouldn't eat for stress if there was no way to get rid of the weight. And who the hell wants to exercise to that level? That's obsessive, and I'm not surprised you have a major injury. I mean, this is the consequence of you using exercise as your purge. Right? So if you're ready, we can help you end that crazy. You just have to trust that you're not trustworthy.
Oh, I know I'm not trustworthy.
Yeah, because what you'll always do is position yourself in a position where you can access all that food. That's what you're doing. You're positioning yourself in any given circumstance to be allowed to eat. And it's only there because you have the protocol as a tool. Yeah. Or exercise, which hopefully you don't have that either. So you're kind of limited at least. So
I don't have it. It sucks. But it doesn't suck. I get it.
Well, you kind of need to learn your lesson, right? Like exercise should be therapeutic. It shouldn't be abusive.
Right. Exactly.
I know. It's like, why take exercise and make it an abuse? It is supposed to be therapeutic. It's supposed to improve your lymphatic system, your flexibility, joint range of motion, strength, reaction time, balance, skin, sleeping, sex drive, and you're messing it up.
I know.
Because you're afraid to get fat because you're binging. Yeah. So we have to look at this role food's been playing with you without the release of a weight loss program, right? So the first step in this is let's look at this relationship you've created with food emotionally as if there's no diet to take away the ramifications. So how much of the behavior would immediately change if there was no way to fix the ramifications? If we were to say, if you gain weight, it's permanent. No way to lose it. It's permanent. Yeah, you can't hide it. You don't have your special wizard HCG fat removal tool. It's gone.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you need to think about that. That's a very important question. If you couldn't diet, if you couldn't get rid of damages, how would that change the relationship you have with food under a variety of circumstances?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, in the not like it's. I like to say it's easy as saying you just have to accept yourself and move on.
There is a huge part of that, yes, or not put as much pressure, right? There is some form of acceptance. Yes. That's actually a very important foundational part.
Probably would be like, okay, well, if this is how I'm going to be.
Okay, well, yeah, well, here is, okay. Let me be more clear about this question. Think about the moments you say, screw it, I'm going to go ahead and give myself all this freedom to eat. Why? Why do you say screw it? Because the key to a binge is a diet. You're not going to binge unless you diet. The only reason why you say, you know what? I can just get rid of this. Think about how you've used the protocol as your carrot. The only reason why you give yourself that last moment of, you know what, screw it, let's just give myself freedom to eat without shame.
I got it, because I think I have a solution for it. And if I don't have a solution, I'd be like, maybe I just shouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all of a sudden you have to take responsibility for your emotions at that time.
Yeah, that's totally
you know.
not
I don't know about you, but all of a sudden you have to be accountable to your behavior all of a sudden.
Right.
So the diet industry makes billions and billions of dollars taking responsibility for your emotional problems.
Got it.
So if there's no diet, first and foremost, if there's no diet, is there shame and guilt? Do you feel like you failed?
No.
Okay, so what does that do to the binge?
It's like, why bother?
There's no failure. There's no shame and guilt. There's no, I fucked everything up. There's no, oh, crap.
Right.
That's the start of a binge.
Got it.
So there's none of that either. There's no fixing it, and there's no failure. Those two right there, that's the outside of a binge. That's what holds it together.
Yeah, and you know what's really odd is, as you're talking to me, is I never went on a diet until I was in college. Like, I really didn't understand the concept of not feeling good about yourself. I don't know, like I went and I was like perfectly like, yeah, like whatever. And when I went away and then started seeing other people.
I was going to say, and hearing other belief systems and socializing with people where body image was important. And then you're like, okay, it's like adolescence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went through an adolescent stage.
And I never had this like failure, feeling like I failed until the first time I went on a diet. Like, I kind of felt pretty successful with myself in general. I told someone this really funny thing is, I'm only 5'4". I'm the tallest woman in my family. We would go to church, and of my mom and my sisters, I'm the tallest. So I thought I was tall.
Yeah.
And I went out into the world.
And you're like, oh,
you're
that's
really
funny.
Short. And I was like, what? And there was a friend of mine who's 5'10", and it really, truthfully, never occurred to me. And not that I was like, for the first time, I was like, oh, I never realized I was not a tall person. And so it was amusing, but I kind of felt the same way now that you're kind of talking about this, is I never really felt failure about my weight until I did this first diet, which was like, I don't know what it was, maybe Weight Watchers or something, I can't remember. But
yeah, and you probably went with someone else who's doing it. Well, and in order for you to enlist in a diet, you had to have felt like you needed to lose weight. And you might have gained some weight as a freshman, you know.
Yeah, I did.
And you thought, and you just thought, you know, I just want to get back to what I used to be. And that's when it begins.
That's when it started.
Correct. I could have told you that the first time you diet, that's the beginning of emotional eating. It doesn't happen unless you have shame, guilt over your body, feel the need to fix it. You have to micromanage your food. You end up feeling deprived. Then you end up eating more than you want to because you think you can continue to diet to lose the weight. And so you end up snowballing, and here we are.
Got it.
Yeah, the dieting has got to get out. If you continue to think you need to diet, you will continue to overconsume and be obsessed with exercise or not exercise and be obsessed with micromanaging what's in your food. You have this level of desperation that is really a compensation for low self-worth.
Yeah, agreed.
So